Hi everyone. Welcome to another Vocab Builder video. Our first word for today is accord. It means give or grant someone power, status, or recognition. Consider this example: the powers accorded to the head of state. However, in a different situation. It's defined as of a concept or fact, be harmonious or consistent with. For example, his views accorded well with those of Marivalli. The next word is bank. It's defined as the land alongside or sloping down to a river or lake. For example, willows lined the bank. In other places, it means a slope, mass, or mound of a particular substance. For example, a bank of snow. In other places, it means a set or series of similar things, especially electrical or electronic devices, grouped together in rows. Consider this example: the DJ had big banks of lights and speakers on either side of his console. However, in a different situation, it means the cushion of a pool table. For example, a bank shot. Up next, bound. It means walk or run with leaping strides. For example, Lewis came bounding down the stairs. Up next, civil. It's defined as relating to ordinary citizens and their concerns as distinct from military or ecclesiastical matters. For example, civil aviation. However, in a different situation, it's defined as courteous and polite. For example, we tried to be civil to him. In other places, it means of time measurement or a point in time, fixed by custom or law rather than being natural or astronomical. For example, civil twilight starts at sunset. Up next, address. It means the particulars of the place where someone lives or an organization is situated. Consider this example: they exchanged addresses and agreed to keep in touch. In other places, it's defined as a formal speech delivered to an audience. Consider this example: she delivered an address to the National Council of Teachers. In other places, it's defined as skill, dexterity, or readiness. Consider this example: he rescued me with the most consummate address. Up next, blue. It means of a color intermediate between green and violet, as of the sky or sea on a sunny day. Consider this example: the clear blue sky. However, in a different situation, it means of a person or mood, melancholy, sad, or depressed. Consider this example: he's feeling blue. In other places, it's defined as of a movie, joke, or story with sexual or pornographic content. Consider this example: the blue movies are hugely profitable. In other places, it's defined as rigidly religious or moralistic, puritanical. Moving on. Up next, camp. It means a place with temporary accommodations of huts, tents, or other structures, typically used by soldiers, refugees, prisoners, or travelers. Consider this example: the enemy camp. However, in a different situation, it's defined as the supporters of a particular party or doctrine regarded collectively. For example, his views were firmly rooted in the conservative camp. Next up, converse. It means engage in conversation. For example, he fell in beside her, and they began to converse amicably. Up next, apparent. It's defined as clearly visible or understood, obvious. For example, it became apparent that he was talented. Next up, base. It means the lowest part or edge of something, especially the part on which it rests or is supported. For example, she sat down at the base of a tree. In other places, it means a conceptual structure or entity on which something draws or depends. For example, the town's economic base collapsed. However, in a different situation, It means a place used as a center of operations by the armed forces or others, a headquarters. Consider this example: the corporal headed back to base. In other places, it means a main or important element or ingredient to which other things are added. Consider this example: soaps with a vegetable oil base. In other places, it's defined as a substance capable of reacting with an acid to form a salt and water, or, more broadly, of accepting or neutralizing hydrogen ions. Moving on. However, in a different situation, it's defined as the middle part of a bipolar transistor, separating the emitter from the collector. Moving on. In other places, it means the root or stem of a word or a derivative. Moving on. However, in a different situation, it's defined as a number used as the basis of a numeration scale. Moving on. In other places, it means one of the 4 stations that must be reached in turn to score a run. Moving on. The next word is charm. It means the power or quality of giving delight or arousing admiration. For example, his charm has captivated the media. In other places, it's defined as a small ornament worn on a necklace or bracelet. Consider this example: the trinkets were charms from his wife's bracelet. However, in a different situation, it means an object, act, or saying believed to have magic power. Consider this example: the dream catcher is a charm used to prevent bad dreams. In other places, it means one of 6 flavors of cork. Moving on. The next word is absolute. It means not qualified or diminished in any way, total. For example, absolute secrecy. However, in a different situation, it means viewed or existing independently, and not in relation to other things, not relative or comparative. For example, absolute moral standards. In other places, it means of a construction, syntactically independent of the rest of the sentence, as in, for example, dinner being over, we left the table. Up next. Bid. It's defined as offer a certain price for something, especially at an auction. For example, a consortium of dealers bid a world record price for a snuff box. Up next. Brave. It's defined as ready to face and endure danger or pain, showing courage. Consider this example: a brave soldier. Next up. Confidence. It's defined as the feeling or belief that one can rely on someone or something, firm trust. For example, we had every confidence in the staff. The next word is bitter. It's defined as having a sharp, pungent taste or smell, not sweet. Consider this example: the raw berries have an intensely bitter flavor. In other places, it's defined as of people or their feelings or behavior, angry, hurt, or resentful because of one's bad experiences, or a sense of unjust treatment. Consider this example: I don't feel jealous or bitter. In other places, it means often used for emphasis, painful or unpleasant to accept or contemplate. For example, today's decision has come as a bitter blow. However, in a different situation, it's defined as of wind, cold, or weather, intensely cold. Consider this example: a bitter wind blowing from the east. The next word is benefit. It means an advantage or profit gained from something. For example, enjoy the benefits of being a member. In other places, it's defined as a payment or gift made by an employer, the state, or an insurance company. For example, welfare benefits. However, in a different situation, it means a public performance or other entertainment of which the proceeds go to a particular charitable cause. Consider this example: The social season was highlighted by debutante balls and charity benefits. Up next. Communal. It's defined as shared by all members of a community, for common use. For example, a communal bathroom and kitchen. In other places, it means of conflict between different communities, especially those having different religions or ethnic origins. Consider this example: violent communal riots. Next up. Convene. It's defined as come or bring together for a meeting or activity, assemble. Consider this example: he had convened a secret meeting of military personnel. Next up. Check. It's defined as examine something in order to determine its accuracy, quality, or condition, or to detect the presence of something. Consider this example: customs officers have the right to check all luggage. However, in a different situation, it's defined as stop or slow down the progress of something undesirable. Consider this example: efforts were made to check the disease. In other places, it means of a passenger consign baggage to the care of the transport provider with whom they are traveling. Consider this example: I checked my bag and got my boarding pass. However, in a different situation, it means mark or click on a box in order to select a particular option on a form, questionnaire, etc. For example, users who want privacy should check the box that prevents your files from being shared. In other places, it's defined as move a piece or pawn so that the opposing king is under attack. For example, he moves his knight to check my king again. In other places, it's defined as in poker, choose not to make a bet when called upon, allowing the action to move to another player. Moving on. In other places, it means of a hound, pause to make sure of or regain a scent. Consider this example: at last they struck upon the scent of the blood, and they checked for a moment to make sure. Up next. Career. It's defined as an occupation undertaken for a significant period of a person's life, and with opportunities for progress. Consider this example: he seemed destined for a career as an engineer like his father. Next up. Convention. It's defined as a way in which something is usually done, especially within a particular area or activity. For example, the woman who overturned so many conventions of children's literature. In other places, it means an agreement between countries covering particular matters, especially one less formal than a treaty. For example, the convention, signed by the 6 states bordering on the Black Sea, aims to prevent further pollution. However, in a different situation, it's defined as a large meeting or conference, especially of members of a political party or a particular profession. Consider this example: a convention of retail merchants. However, in a different situation, it means an artificial bid by which a bidder tries to convey specific information about the hand to their partner. Moving on. Next up. Choice. It's defined as an act of selecting or making a decision when faced with 2 or more possibilities. Consider this example: the choice between good and evil. Up next. Acknowledge. It means accept or admit the existence or truth of. Consider this example: the plight of the refugees was acknowledged by the authorities. In other places, it's defined as of a body of opinion, recognize the fact or importance or quality of. For example, the art world has begun to acknowledge his genius. However, in a different situation, it means show that one has noticed or recognized someone by making a gesture or greeting. For example, she refused to acknowledge my presence. Up next. Champion. It means a person who has defeated or surpassed all rivals in a competition, especially in sports. Consider this example: a champion hurdler. In other places, It's defined as a person who fights or argues for a cause or on behalf of someone else. For example, a champion of women's rights. The next word is bent. It means sharply curved or having an angle. Consider this example, a piece of bent wire. However, in a different situation. It means dishonest, corrupt. Consider this example, a bent cop. In other places, it means homosexual. Other words that mean the same are gay, lesbian, lesbigay. However, in a different situation. It's defined as determined to do or have. Consider this example, a missionary bent on saving souls. If this video helped you, there are many more like it. Feel free to leave any questions or suggestions that you have in the comments section below.